I'll end, if you'll allow me, with this other clinical trial that is in development. And this is a collaborative effort across 3 different institutions. Maybe you recognize some of these people. So Dr. Tim Olson is at CHOP. Dr. Matt Porteous is at Stanford. He's actually one of the big gene editing principal investigators out there. And then Dr. E.J. Spall at MD Anderson. And what they're doing is they're pulling together a protocol which will allow us to mobilize RUNX1 patients. Mobilize means give patients a drug. It's a drug, it's a growth factor, which kicks the stem cells out of the bone marrow into the blood. And then we can collect those stem cells. And we're going to do a few things with those stem cells. One, we're going to save 1 bag for potential autograft. What that means is if later in life that patient who had their stem cells collected starts to acquire mutations and it looks like there's weeds growing out, we can give them their healthier stem cells that hopefully didn't have any mutations. We can give those back and just repopulate a bluegrass, so to speak. The other option is to have 2 bags or more banked for potential gene editing. And that's where if in the future the technology gets better and we've solved for some of these problems I mentioned, now we've got cells saved from that patient that are hopefully younger, healthier, and ready for that gene editing should it come to the point where we can do that safely and effectively. And then the final piece is that through that mobilization, we learn, how do patients mobilize? And that is really important because if we ever get to a point where we can do in vivo editing, probably a 10-year horizon, but in vivo editing means you don't have to take the cells out. You can just put gene editing tools into the bloodstream and they'll go and edit the stem cells in vivo. And it's sort of a one and done. In a perfect world, that would be what it would look like. So this protocol is going to address quite a few questions and will be important for any of those strategies in the future.